Hello everyone. Welcome to the Sleepy Mind channel. I'm so glad you're here. Tonight we're turning our attention to the quiet green companions that share our world. Plants stand rooted and still, yet their lives are full of hidden dramas and astonishing abilities. They can talk to one another, defend themselves with strange tricks, and even make sounds we are only just beginning to understand. They breathe life into the planet, and in their presence, we find both wonder and calm. Roots use a type of sonar to help them navigate underground. Roots grow in darkness, searching for water and nutrients, yet somehow they manage to avoid rocks, weave around obstacles, and find open pathways through dense soil. One explanation comes from a surprising discovery. As roots extend and push forward, they produce faint clicking sounds. These sounds are far too subtle for human ears, but sensitive instruments can detect them. Scientists believe these tiny vibrations may bounce back from surrounding objects, allowing roots to sense what lies ahead. In a way, roots may be listening to their environment, feeling their way forward through echoes in the soil. This kind of perception is slow and gentle, nothing like the rapid sonar of bats or dolphins. But for a plant, time moves differently. A root has days or weeks to adjust its path, gradually curving away from resistance and toward moisture. Beneath the ground, there is no light, no vision, only pressure, sound, and chemical signals. And yet, roots navigate with quiet precision. Each root tip is alive with sensing cells, constantly sampling the soil, deciding where to grow next. What looks like stillness above the ground hides a careful, ongoing exploration below. Plants can remember stress and change their behavior later. Memory is usually associated with brains, but plants have their own form of remembering. When a plant experiences stress, such as drought, extreme heat, or physical damage, it doesn't simply recover and forget. Instead, it can store information about that event in its cells. Later, when similar conditions arise, the plant may respond more quickly or more strongly. A plant that has endured drought once may close its stomata faster the next time water becomes scarce. Another plant that has been damaged by insects may activate its chemical defenses sooner during a future attack. This memory does not involve thoughts or images. It exists at the level of genes and proteins, where chemical markers influence how easily certain responses are triggered. Some of these changes can last for weeks, months, or even the plant's entire life. In certain cases, stress memories may even be passed on to the next generation through seeds, giving offspring a kind of inherited preparedness. In this way, plants carry the past forward quietly. They learn without awareness, adapt without intention, and remember without reflection. Their memories are written not in stories, but in subtle shifts of chemistry that shape how they meet the future. Plants can hear caterpillars chewing. The idea may sound strange, but research suggests that plants can detect the sound vibrations made by insects feeding on their leaves. When caterpillars chew, they create specific patterns of vibration that travel through the plant's tissues. Experiments have shown that when these vibrations are played back to plants, even without any actual damage, the plants begin to increase production of defensive chemicals. They respond as if they are under attack. Other vibrations, such as wind or rain, do not produce the same effect. This suggests that plants are finely tuned to particular frequencies associated with danger. They are not hearing in the way animals do, but they are sensing movement and rhythm through their structures. The leaf becomes both target and sensor, responding to threats before damage spreads too far. In a quiet garden, while everything seems peaceful, a leaf may already be preparing its defenses, reacting to the faint tremor of a nearby bite. It is another reminder that plant life is alert in its own slow, steady way. Some plants move faster than you might expect. Plants are often described as motionless, but movement is woven into their lives. It simply unfolds on a timescale we don't usually notice. Vines coil around supports, sunflowers track the arc of the sun, and roots twist toward moisture. Some plants, however, move quickly enough to surprise us. The Venus flytrap snaps shut in a fraction of a second when trigger hairs inside its trap are touched. This rapid motion relies on changes in water pressure within the plant's cells, allowing the trap to close before prey can escape. The sensitive plant, Mimosa pudica, folds its leaves when touched, responding to contact within moments. This movement may help deter herbivores or protect the plant from damage. Over time, if the plant is repeatedly touched without harm, it may stop reacting, showing a simple form of learning. Even flowers can move in subtle ways, opening and closing in response to light, temperature, and time of day. These movements are not random. They are carefully regulated, conserving energy and increasing the chances of pollination. Plants move with intention written into chemistry. Their motions are quiet, efficient, and purposeful, unfolding just fast enough to meet their needs. Plants can sense gravity even when buried. From the moment a seed germinates, it knows which way is down. Roots grow into the soil while shoots rise toward the surface. This ability to sense gravity is called gravitropism. Inside plant cells are tiny, dense structures that settle in response to gravity, much like sand in a level. When these structures shift, they trigger chemical signals that guide growth direction. Even if a seed is planted sideways or upside down, its roots will curve downward and its shoot will find its way upward. This sense works even in complete darkness, deep underground. A root does not need to see to know where to go. It feels orientation through weight and pressure, responding patiently as it grows cell by cell. In this way, plants are always aligned with the planet itself, growing in quiet partnership with gravity. Their bodies record direction not by choice, but by constant, gentle adjustment. Plants can influence the weather around them. Forests are not just shaped by climate. They also shape climate in return. Trees release water vapor into the air through a process called transpiration. As water evaporates from leaves, it cools the surrounding air and increases humidity. In large forests, this effect can be powerful enough to influence rainfall patterns. Moist air rising from dense vegetation can help form clouds, which later release rain. Some scientists believe that forests help draw moisture inland from oceans, sustaining rainfall far from the coast. When forests are removed, these patterns can change. The land may become hotter and drier, altering local and regional climates. In this sense, plants are not passive recipients of weather. They are active participants, quietly shaping the atmosphere above them. Each leaf contributes a small breath of moisture to the sky. Together, millions of leaves create invisible rivers of air and water, flowing upward, cooling the land, and sustaining life beyond the forest itself. Plants can recognize their own roots. Roots do more than search for nutrients. They also sense who is nearby. Studies have shown that some plants can distinguish between their own roots and those of other plants. When growing near themselves, they may spread roots evenly. When near unrelated plants, they may compete more aggressively for space and resources. This recognition is thought to involve chemical signals released by roots into the soil. By detecting these signals, a plant can adjust how it grows, avoiding unnecessary competition with itself while responding to potential rivals. In crowded environments, this ability can make the difference between survival and struggle. Plants are constantly negotiating space underground, making decisions through chemistry rather than consciousness. What seems like simple growth is actually a form of awareness, tuned to identity and proximity, unfolding quietly beneath the surface. Plants can live far longer than human civilizations. Some plants live for astonishing lengths of time. Bristlecone pine trees, found in harsh mountain environments, can live for over 4,000 years. These trees were already ancient when the pyramids were built. Other plants, like clonal colonies of aspen, are even older. Though individual trunks may live only decades, the root system beneath them can persist for tens of thousands of years, sending up new growth again and again. These long-lived plants endure slow changes in climate, weathering ice ages, droughts, and shifting landscapes. Their growth rings record years of abundance and years of hardship, storing a silent history of the world around them. To sit near such a plant is to be close to deep time. It has stood quietly through centuries of sunrises and storms, growing slowly, patiently, without urgency. Plants can fall asleep and wake up. Plants follow daily rhythms, opening and closing leaves or flowers in response to light and darkness. This movement, known as nyctinasty, is driven by internal clocks similar to circadian rhythms in animals. At night, many plants lower their leaves, reducing exposure to cold and conserving energy. During the day, they lift them again to capture sunlight. These rhythms continue even in constant conditions, showing that plants keep time internally. In a sense, plants rest. Their metabolism shifts, growth slows, and energy is conserved. Though they do not sleep as animals do, they experience cycles of activity and quiet that mirror the rising and setting of the sun. As night spreads across a garden or forest, plants adjust themselves for darkness, folding inward slightly, settling into stillness until morning returns. Plants are constantly shaping the world, even when we are not looking. From the air we breathe to the soil beneath our feet, plants are quietly at work. They produce oxygen, stabilize land, feed ecosystems, and regulate climate. Their lives unfold slowly, patiently, and mostly out of sight. When we slow down enough to notice them, plants reveal a world of communication, memory, perception, and resilience. They are not silent decorations, but active participants in the story of life on Earth. As you rest and listen, imagine roots whispering through soil, leaves exchanging signals in the air, and forests breathing gently beneath the stars. The green world continues its quiet work through the night, steady and calm, inviting you to do the same. Plants can sense when they are being touched, even lightly. Touch is not exclusive to animals. Plants respond to physical contact in subtle but meaningful ways. When a leaf brushes against another plant, a passing animal, or even repeated wind, the plant registers the movement. This sensitivity is called thigmotropism. Vines use touch to find support, wrapping themselves around nearby structures as they grow. Each time the vine brushes against something solid, chemical signals guide its curling motion. Over time, the plant tightens its grip, anchoring itself securely. Other plants respond to frequent touch by changing their growth patterns. If a plant is gently brushed every day, it may grow shorter and sturdier, adapting to what it senses as a potentially windy or crowded environment. This response helps reduce damage and breakage. Touch for plants is information. It shapes form and behavior, quietly guiding growth in response to the physical world. Plants release scents not just to smell pleasant, but to survive. The fragrances we enjoy in flowers often serve deeper purposes. Many plant scents are chemical messages designed to attract specific pollinators. A flower may release a sweet aroma at night to draw moths, or a strong musky scent to attract beetles. Some scents are defensive rather than inviting. When under attack, plants can release odors that repel insects or attract predators of the attackers. A caterpillar feeding on a leaf may unknowingly trigger the release of a scent that calls parasitic wasps to the scene. These scents can travel surprising distances, drifting through the air as invisible signals. What we perceive as a pleasant smell may be part of a complex strategy of survival and communication. In a garden at dusk, when fragrances grow stronger, plants may be actively sending messages into the night air, shaping interactions we rarely notice. Plants can count time and anticipate seasons. Plants do not simply react to the present moment. They anticipate change. Through internal clocks and sensitivity to day length, they measure time with remarkable accuracy. As days grow shorter, plants prepare for winter. Leaves change color and fall. Buds harden and wait. Seeds mature and disperse. These changes are triggered not by cold alone, but by the length of daylight, a reliable signal that seasons are shifting. In spring, increasing light tells plants when to sprout, flower, and grow. Even underground bulbs respond to these cues, pushing upward at just the right moment. This timekeeping allows plants to align their lives with predictable rhythms of the earth, unfolding in harmony with the turning of the planet around the sun. Some plants can sense when neighboring plants are related. Plants growing near one another are not always competitors. In some cases, they behave more cooperatively with close relatives. Studies have shown that certain plants reduce competition when surrounded by siblings, spreading roots more evenly and sharing space. When surrounded by unrelated plants, the same species may grow more aggressively, extending roots further and competing more strongly for nutrients. This behavior suggests a form of kin recognition, mediated by chemical signals in the soil. Without awareness or intention, plants adjust their growth strategies based on who is nearby. It is a quiet form of social behavior, unfolding underground, shaping how plant communities organize themselves over time. Plants can repair themselves after damage. When animals lose limbs, healing can be slow and limited. Plants, however, often regenerate with surprising ease. A broken branch can seal itself off and sprout new growth. A cut stem may produce multiple shoots, growing back fuller than before. This regenerative ability comes from meristems, regions of plant tissue where cells remain flexible and capable of becoming many different structures. These cells allow plants to adapt to damage and continue growing. Even when severely injured, many plants survive by redirecting energy and resources. This resilience helps them endure storms, grazing, and environmental stress. To damage a plant is not always to end it. Often, it simply begins a new phase of growth. Plants respond differently to different colors of light. Light is more than brightness to a plant. It is information. Plants can detect different wavelengths of light and respond accordingly. Blue light influences leaf opening and growth direction. Red light helps regulate flowering and seed germination. Far-red light, often reflected by neighboring plants, signals crowding and triggers upward growth as plants compete for sunlight. Through specialized pigments, plants read the quality of light around them, adjusting their shape and timing to optimize survival. A forest plant growing in shade may stretch upward, while one in open sunlight spreads wide. Each response is tuned to the color and intensity of light reaching its leaves. Plants can become stressed by noise and vibration. While plants do not hear sound as animals do, they are sensitive to vibration. Constant mechanical stress, such as strong winds or persistent vibrations, can influence plant growth. Some studies suggest that certain frequencies may affect seed germination or growth rates, though this field is still being explored. What is clear is that plants are not entirely indifferent to movement in their environment. In nature, vibrations come from wind, rain, animals, and flowing water. These cues may help plants adapt to their surroundings. In human environments, artificial vibrations are new and unfamiliar. How plants respond over long periods is a quiet question science is still asking. Plants can store carbon deep in the soil. Plants play a crucial role in regulating Earth's carbon balance. Through photosynthesis, they pull carbon dioxide from the air and convert it into sugars. Some of this carbon becomes part of roots and soil. Deep-rooted plants can store carbon far below the surface, where it may remain for centuries. This underground storage helps stabilize climate by reducing the amount of carbon in the atmosphere. Grasslands, forests, and wetlands are especially important in this process. Their roots form complex networks that lock carbon into the ground. Each plant, growing quietly, contributes to a global system that shapes the planet's future. Plants can sense water before reaching it. Roots often grow toward moisture, even when water is not immediately present. This ability, known as hydrotropism, allows plants to seek out water sources efficiently. Chemical gradients in the soil guide root growth, pulling them toward damp areas. Roots may split and branch, exploring multiple directions until water is found. This sensitivity helps plants survive in dry environments, maximizing access to limited resources. Below the surface, roots are constantly testing, adjusting, and responding, inching closer to the sustenance they need. Plants create microhabitats for countless organisms. Every plant supports a small world. Leaves host insects, roots shelter fungi and bacteria. Stems provide perches and pathways. These relationships are often mutual. Microorganisms help plants absorb nutrients, while plants provide sugars and shelter in return. A single tree can support hundreds of species, forming the foundation of an ecosystem. When you look at a plant, you are seeing not just one organism, but the center of a living network. Plants are always communicating, growing, adapting, and supporting life. Their actions are slow, steady, and mostly invisible. Yet they shape landscapes, climates, and communities over time. As you rest and listen, imagine leaves adjusting to moonlight, roots sensing moisture, and forests breathing softly through the night. The green world continues its patient work, inviting you into its calm, unhurried rhythm. Plants can sense when they are in danger before damage occurs. Long before a leaf is bitten or a stem is broken, plants can detect subtle warning signs. Changes in light, shifts in air chemistry, and faint vibrations can all signal approaching threats. When a neighboring plant is attacked, chemical signals released into the air can prepare others nearby. These early warnings allow plants to begin producing defensive compounds before harm spreads. It is not fear, but readiness, a quiet preparation unfolding without urgency. In a field or forest, danger rarely arrives without signs. Plants, tuned to their surroundings, listen carefully and respond in advance, shaping their survival through anticipation rather than reaction. Plants adjust their growth based on the space around them. Crowded environments call for different strategies than open ones. When plants grow close together, they sense changes in light quality reflected from nearby leaves. This triggers them to grow taller, reaching upward to escape shade. In open spaces, plants often grow wider, spreading leaves to gather as much sunlight as possible. These adjustments happen gradually, guided by hormones that regulate cell expansion. Growth is not random. It is sculpted by circumstance, shaped by the quiet negotiation between plant and environment. Plants can form partnerships that last their entire lives. Many plants form lifelong relationships with fungi, bacteria, or insects. These partnerships are not incidental. They are essential. Mycorrhizal fungi extend a plant's root system, increasing access to water and minerals. In return, the plant feeds the fungi sugars made through photosynthesis. This exchange continues for as long as both partners live. Some plants rely on specific insects for pollination, timing their flowering precisely to match the insect's life cycles. Others host bacteria within their tissues that help them fix nitrogen from the air. These relationships are quiet agreements written into biology, binding different forms of life together in mutual dependence. Plants can sense when they are being eaten and respond locally. When an insect begins feeding on one part of a plant, the response is often localized. Chemical signals move through the plant, increasing defenses near the damaged area while conserving energy elsewhere. This targeted response allows the plant to protect itself efficiently. It does not panic. It adapts. Some plants even alter the nutritional content of their leaves, making them less beneficial to herbivores. Others thicken cell walls or produce sticky substances that trap insects. Each response is precise, measured, and shaped by millions of years of adaptation. Plants can influence animal behavior without movement. Though rooted in place, plants shape the behavior of animals around them. Flower colors, shapes, and scents guide pollinators toward nectar. Fruit flavors and textures encourage animals to eat and disperse seeds. Even toxic compounds play a role, teaching animals what to avoid. Over time, these interactions shape feeding patterns, migration routes, and ecological balance. Plants do not chase or flee. They influence. Through chemistry and form, they guide the movements of others, shaping ecosystems while remaining still. Plants can enter dormant states for years. Some plants wait. Seeds can remain dormant for decades, even centuries, until conditions are right. Buried in soil, protected by tough coatings, they conserve energy and endure. When moisture, temperature, and light align, they awaken. Germination begins, and life resumes as if no time has passed. This patience allows plants to survive unpredictable environments. Fire, drought, and frost may pass, but the seed remains, holding potential in silence. Dormancy is not absence. It is quiet readiness. Plants respond to fire in surprising ways. Fire is often seen as destructive, but for some plants, it is part of renewal. Certain species require heat or smoke to trigger seed germination. Fire clears old growth, releases nutrients into the soil, and opens space for new life. Some trees have thick bark that protects them from flames. Others release seeds only after exposure to intense heat. In fire-adapted ecosystems, plants and flames are woven together in long cycles of destruction and rebirth. After fire passes, green shoots often emerge quickly, resilient and renewed. Plants can sense changes in air pressure and humidity. Before storms arrive, plants may detect subtle changes in air pressure and moisture. Leaves may droop, flowers may close, and growth patterns may shift. These responses help protect delicate tissues from damage and reduce water loss during harsh conditions. Plants do not predict weather consciously, but their bodies respond to environmental signals that precede change. In this way, plants live slightly ahead of the moment, adjusting quietly before the world shifts around them. Plants can grow toward sounds associated with water. Some research suggests that plant roots may grow toward the sound of running water. Vibrations traveling through soil may guide roots toward moisture sources. Though still under study, this possibility highlights the sensitivity of roots to their surroundings. Sound, pressure, and vibration may all play a role in underground navigation. Roots grow slowly, but with awareness shaped by subtle cues. Plants can change their chemical makeup throughout the day. Plant chemistry shifts with light and darkness. Certain compounds are produced during the day, others at night. These cycles influence growth, defense, and interaction with other organisms. Flowers may produce nectar at specific times to align with pollinator activity. Leaves may alter their chemical composition to reduce nighttime water loss. Each day brings a quiet rhythm of change, repeating with gentle consistency. Plants can recover from extreme dehydration. Some plants, known as resurrection plants, can survive near complete dehydration. During drought, they dry out almost entirely, appearing dead. When water returns, they rehydrate and resume normal activity within hours or days. Their cells are protected by special proteins and sugars that prevent damage during drying. This remarkable resilience allows them to endure harsh environments where few other plants can survive. Even in stillness and dryness, life remains waiting. Plants influence soil structure and health. Roots bind soil together, preventing erosion. As plants grow and die, they add organic matter that enriches the soil. Microorganisms thrive around roots, breaking down nutrients and making them available to plants. This creates fertile, living soil that supports future growth. Without plants, soil becomes lifeless dust. With them, it becomes a foundation for ecosystems. Plants are architects of the land beneath our feet. Plants exist in constant relationship with time and change. Their lives are measured not in seconds, but in seasons. They respond slowly, steadily, and persistently to the world around them. As you listen, imagine roots deepening, leaves adjusting, and seeds waiting patiently in the dark. The plant world continues its calm work through the night, reminding us that growth does not rush and resilience does not shout. It unfolds quietly, one moment at a time. Look closely at the leaves around you. Notice how some of them sway lightly in the soft night breeze, and now slowly they begin to fold, curling gently toward the stem, as if tucking themselves into a soft, leafy blanket. Some leaves droop slightly, bowing toward the earth, resting their green faces from the day's warm sunlight. The sensitive mimosa, with its delicate, feathery leaves, folds in half, closing softly as if saying a quiet good night. You can almost hear the tiny sigh as the leaf settles. In the distance, a field of clover and bean plants slowly closes their leaves, each movement calm, precise, rhythmic, almost like the slow, steady heartbeat of the night. The world grows quieter, the air grows cooler, and the leaves seem to breathe along with you. Every leaf in this garden has a small, secret hinge called a pulvinus. Tiny joints that allow the leaves to fold and droop at night. It's a gentle mechanism, a whisper of nature's intelligence. Every fold is a gesture of rest, a sigh of calm, a promise of renewal with the morning sun. Even the tallest trees in this quiet garden bend their branches slightly, not from wind, but from their own rhythm, branches and leaves moving together, a slow, subtle choreography, almost imperceptible, yet somehow you feel it, the stillness, the peace. Notice how some leaves curl upward, like hands folded in gentle meditation. Others lower themselves to the soil, drawing energy inward, preparing for the stillness of the night. It is a slow, deliberate sleep, not hurried, not restless, just soft, natural, and calm. As you watch these leaves, allow your body to sink deeper into your pillow. Feel your own arms relax, your shoulders soften, your jaw unclench, each breath drawing you closer to this garden's quiet rhythm. Even in darkness, leaves know the time. They anticipate the sun. They sense the moon. Their internal clocks guide them, softly, invisibly folding, bending, stretching, curling. A symphony of gentle motion that does not disturb. Now, let's turn our attention to the flowers. Some are already starting to close their petals. See how the morning glories gently roll into themselves, curling, folding, wrapping their delicate colors into quiet, private coils. Tulips, too, close softly, their petals drawing inward, protecting the pollen, resting their bright faces until the sun returns. Evening primroses open in the night, but their sisters sleep, each flower following its own gentle rhythm. A lullaby in petals and fragrance. Notice the jasmine, it opens in the evening, filling the air with a subtle, sweet scent. But soon, it too will curl slightly, resting, as if breathing in harmony with the night. The soft aroma drifts around you, calming your mind, softening your thoughts. Some flowers are tucked away in the shadows, their petals closed like gentle hands holding secrets, each one resting, waiting for dawn. A quiet miracle, repeated night after night, soft, slow, serene. The flowers in this garden are not just resting. They are protecting themselves, conserving energy, sheltering their beauty for tomorrow. And as they do, the air grows heavier with calm. The world grows softer, and your mind can drift, just as the petals do. As the garden grows darker, notice how the world slows. The leaves have folded, the flowers have tucked themselves gently, and beneath the soil, the roots continue their quiet, secret work. Even as the night stretches on, some plants enter a deeper, almost magical rest, a sleep that lasts not just hours but sometimes months. In winter, bulbs like tulips and daffodils lie beneath the soil, cradled by earth, wrapped in warmth. They do not grow, they do not reach, they simply rest, waiting, dreaming, waiting for the sun's gentle return. Imagine a field of tulips in winter, beneath the frozen soil. Each bulb rests like a small, secret treasure. All around them, the soil is cool, damp, silent. There is no rush, no noise, only the gentle pulse of life, slow and steady, beneath the surface. You can almost feel the calm, a deep, grounding quiet. Seeds, too, know how to sleep, tiny, still packages of life. They wait for just the right moment, for warmth, for water, for sunlight. When the time comes, they awaken, slowly, stretching tiny shoots toward the light. But for now, they are at peace, cradled in the earth. Even the mighty trees practice a kind of sleep. In winter, deciduous trees shed their leaves, Branches stand bare, silent, holding space for the sky. They are not lifeless, just resting, conserving energy, whispering to themselves in the still night air. Some plants in deserts sleep through entire seasons. Their leaves may curl, their stems may shrink, and their growth slows, yet they are alive, breathing, holding energy for the time when rain will return. Imagine the patient calm of these desert plants, enduring, resting, waiting, teaching us the quiet power of stillness. And while many plants rest, their roots continue to move slowly beneath the soil. Tiny hairs stretch, absorbing water and nutrients. The roots are like hidden rivers, flowing softly in the dark. They do not hurry. They do not strain. They simply follow their natural rhythm, nourishing the plant above. Some roots even grow faster at night, stretching, exploring, anchoring, while the leaves above are asleep. This hidden life is gentle and patient, soft, reassuring, reminding us that even in darkness, life quietly moves forward. Even while plants sleep, they breathe, not with lungs like we do, but through a gentle process called respiration. Slowly, softly, they take in oxygen. Slowly, softly, they release carbon dioxide, like a whispered rhythm, almost imperceptible, yet steady, constant, calming. During the day, plants capture sunlight, turning it into energy through photosynthesis. But at night, that process pauses. Instead, the energy is used gently, quietly, for maintenance, for growth, for keeping the leaves, stems, and roots alive. Imagine standing in the garden at night. The air is soft, warm, cool, your body calm. As you breathe in, imagine the plants breathing with you, rising, falling. A slow, gentle rhythm. Their quiet work beneath the soil. Their leaves resting above. Some plants even grow more at night. Roots stretching. Stems elongating. Flowers preparing for the next day. Nighttime is a hidden world of quiet activity, invisible to our eyes, yet alive, gentle, patient, calming. Leaves continue their gentle movements too, tiny adjustments. A soft tilt, a slight curl, all to conserve water, to protect themselves, to rest. The softest of motions, like a lullaby. You can almost hear it if you listen closely. Even stomata, the tiny openings in leaves, close at night, protecting the plant from losing water, conserving its energy. While some plants open stomata at night in dry climates, sipping carbon dioxide under the cover of darkness. All these rhythms, subtle and precise, are nature's gentle way of resting. Now imagine the garden under the stars. Not silent, not completely. The night has its own visitors, gentle pollinators who move quietly, softly, seeking nectar from flowers that bloom after sunset. Moths glide silently through the air, brushing softly against night-blooming flowers. Their wings carry whispers of movement. Their touch awakens a soft pulse of energy in the flowers. Scent drifts through the garden. Jasmine, evening primrose, night-blooming cactus. Each flower opening with care, releasing fragrance in delicate waves. Bats flit quietly, gently, in search of fruit. Their tiny movements careful, almost reverent. As they touch the flowers, pollen drifts, soft as snow, settling on petals and anthers. A gentle exchange, a quiet dance of life at night. Even the smallest insects follow the rhythm. Crickets, beetles, and tiny moths, each performing their own part in this nocturnal symphony. The world of plants is never truly silent. It simply slows, it softens, it whispers, teaching calm, teaching patience, teaching the beauty of gentle motion. As you imagine these tiny nighttime visitors, let your mind drift. Feel yourself floating along with them, moving softly, lightly, peacefully. As the night grows deeper, imagine stepping into a tropical garden. The air is warm and humid, soft with the scent of damp earth and flowering plants. Gentle shadows dance across the leaves, and every plant seems to exhale, letting go of the heat and brightness of the day. Here, in this quiet tropical world, the leaves perform their nightly ritual with grace and precision. The beans and legumes fold their leaves slowly, as if bowing to the night sky. They bend at tiny hinges called pulvini, curling inward and downward. The movement is slow, rhythmic, hypnotic, almost like watching a wave of calm sweep through a forest. Every leaf seems alive, yet serene. The gentle rustle of leaves in the soft breeze is a lullaby, a whisper of life moving gently. You can almost imagine the leaves closing their eyes, just as you might. The garden itself breathing softly in the cool night air. Some tropical vines coil and uncurl slowly, curling tighter at night, as if drawing their tendrils inward for warmth. The soft spirals of their movement are delicate and soothing. Imagine your own body relaxing in the same gentle spiral, letting go, curling softly into the comfort of your bed. Above, trees stretch high into the tropical night sky. Their branches sway ever so slightly, in harmony with the moonlight. Each leaf, each branch, a tiny participant in this calm symphony. Even the tallest palms seem to nod gently, acknowledging the quiet of the evening. Now notice the flowers. Many tropical flowers perform their own nocturnal dances, some close softly, protecting their delicate petals from the cool night air. Others, like night-blooming jasmine, unfurl slowly, releasing sweet, subtle scents, drifting softly through the garden. Wrapping the air in calm, picture a hibiscus flower. It closes slowly, folding its vivid petals inward, as if tucking itself into a soft, velvety blanket. Its movement is unhurried, meditative, teaching stillness, teaching quiet, a soft whisper to your own tired mind. Water lilies float calmly on a nearby pond. Their broad leaves and delicate petals fold gently, closing for the night, the reflection of moonlight shimmering on the still water. The garden's quiet is reflected perfectly in the mirrored pond, soft ripples carrying the gentle heartbeat of the night. Even Venus flytraps participate in the nocturnal calm. Their traps relax, resting after a day of movement, slowly, softly, each tiny leaf settling, ready to awaken again with the morning sun. Sensitive plants, like Mimosa pudica, fold with extra care. Their tiny leaves curl inward at night, as if in gentle meditation. You can imagine these leaves closing slowly, softly, breathing with the night air, and guiding your own breathing to slow and soften. And now, imagine a whole forest of tropical plants under the night sky. Trees, vines, flowers, ferns, and shrubs, all folding, curling, drooping, tucking themselves gently into the rhythm of darkness. The garden hums quietly with life, unseen but present, soft, constant, soothing. Even in the deepest darkness, plants sense time. They know the night is temporary. They know the sun will rise again. Their circadian rhythms guide them, subtle clocks ticking inside each cell, guiding leaf movements, flower openings, and even root growth, all in perfect harmony with the natural flow of night and day. Now, listen to the quiet symphony of the tropical garden at night, leaves rustling softly, flowers exhaling their fragrances, roots moving slowly underground, insects moving gently among petals. Each sound, each movement, a reminder of the calm pulse of life, soft, gentle, steady. As you imagine this, let your body settle deeper into your bed. Feel the calm energy of the garden wrapping around you, like a soft blanket of green, letting your mind float among the leaves, drifting, curling, folding gently into sleep. The night air is filled with tiny whispers, soft hints of movement, the subtle sway of leaves, the delicate flutter of a moth's wings. Every sound, every motion, a quiet invitation to relax, to let go, to rest. Even the tiniest details are gentle and magical. The spiraling tendrils of a vine, the curling petals of a tropical flower, the slow dip of a leaf under the moonlight. Each one teaches patience, teaches calm, teaches how to breathe softly, slowly, and evenly. And now, as you drift further, imagine the garden stretching endlessly, a world of plants sleeping softly, patiently, gracefully. Each leaf, each flower, each root, participating in the gentle rhythm of the night, guiding you toward deeper calm, toward deeper sleep. As the night deepens, imagine yourself surrounded by the quiet garden. The tropical leaves have folded, the flowers have tucked their petals, the water lilies rest calmly on the surface of the pond. The entire garden breathes softly, in a gentle, rhythmic lullaby. Take a slow, deep breath in and out. Notice how the air feels against your skin, warm, gentle, soft, like the night itself is caressing you. Every leaf, every petal, every root seems to join you in this calm, breathing, expanding, relaxing. Picture a quiet forest nearby. The trees are tall and ancient. Their branches sway slowly, as if waving goodnight. The ferns and shrubs curl inward, their fronds resting gently. Even the tiniest mosses seem to exhale softly, releasing the last warmth of the day. Now focus on the sounds of the garden at night. A soft rustle of leaves in a gentle breeze, the distant hum of nocturnal insects, the subtle drip of dew falling from leaves onto the soft earth. Each sound is a note in the quiet symphony of sleep. Let yourself float along with the rhythm, slow, soft, steady. Imagine the petals of the night-blooming flowers slowly exhaling, a fragrance drifting in invisible waves. Jasmine, evening primrose, hibiscus, their scent is calming. It wraps around you, soothing your mind, inviting your thoughts to drift away. See the water lilies once more, floating gently, their leaves rocking slightly with the tiniest ripple in the pond. Each movement slow, deliberate, peaceful, teaching you the calm of gentle motion. No rush, no strain, only softness and ease. Even the sensitive plants, the mimosa, curl and fold their tiny leaves, soft, delicate movements that invite you to let go, curling your thoughts inward, releasing tension, your shoulders softening, your jaw relaxing, your hands and feet letting go of any tightness. And now, Imagine a soft moonlight washing over the entire garden, illuminating the leaves, flowers, and branches in gentle silver. Shadows play softly, stretching and shrinking with the quiet rhythm of night. Every plant seems to glow softly, breathing with calm, breathing with you. Picture the roots beneath the soil, moving slowly, stretching quietly, exploring gently, hidden, unseen, yet alive with calm energy. Their silent, patient movements remind you, even in darkness, life continues softly, peacefully, naturally. Feel your body sinking deeper into the comfort around you. Imagine yourself lying in the soft grass, or on a bed surrounded by these gentle plants. The energy of their quiet sleep flows into you, filling you with calm, with warmth, with softness. Imagine drifting slowly through this garden, floating among leaves and petals, the fragrance of flowers caressing your senses, the soft rustle of leaves echoing in your mind. Each step is lighter, slower, easier. The garden is endless, welcoming, patient, safe. Notice the tiny insects visiting flowers, their movements gentle and careful. Moths brushing softly against petals, nocturnal pollinators gliding silently, each one a whisper of life in the stillness, inviting your own mind to quiet, to drift, to float. Now, let yourself imagine all the sleepy plants together, stretching across fields, forests, tropical gardens, ponds, and deserts, all of them tucking themselves into night, resting, dreaming, breathing softly in harmony. And you are part of this world, part of this calm, part of this gentle rhythm. With every breath, sink deeper into relaxation. In and out, imagine each exhale releasing tension, each inhale drawing in the gentle life of the garden. Slowly, softly, steadily, let your mind drift like leaves on a pond, floating, curling, swaying, calm, free. As you continue to drift, imagine the night carrying you, like a soft blanket, like a gentle wave. You are supported, safe, surrounded by calm, the garden, the leaves, the flowers, the roots, all breathing with you, all resting with you, all guiding you into gentle sleep. Now, let your thoughts fade, as if leaves drifting down a soft stream. Nothing to hold, nothing to chase, only the quiet, soft rhythm of life at night, only the gentle breath of the garden, only the calm, the softness, the peace. And as you drift further, let the last traces of wakefulness slip away. The garden continues its gentle sleep. The leaves fold, the flowers rest, the water shimmers softly. The world is quiet, soft, safe, and you are asleep. Sleep now, deeply, calmly, peacefully. The gentle rhythm of the sleepy plants surrounding you, carrying you into the night, into dreams, into soft, restorative rest. Good night.